Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Time now for Good Week, Bad Week. This is the first time Jack's ever done this, but he's ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
We'll look through some things, people in the headlines, and say, did they have a good week or a bad week? We'll get started with hemp. It was a good week for hemp. Mitch McConnell signed off on the final version of bill that legalizes industrial hemp, which should have a big effect on Kentucky. What do you think about hemp? Do you like this decision?
I love this decision. Anything that's going to help the Kentucky economy, and maybe you can tax it and help out our pension plan, I'm all for it.
This was, I think, a huge step for Kentucky. Now, whether it ends up being an economic game changer remains to be seen. But, Jack, even if it's a little bit of a positive, something is better than nothing. I'm glad it happened. I will note, it should have happened 25 years ago, but at least it's finally happening now. Next, it was a bad week for stadium food. An ESPN expose revealed this week that an analysis of 1,600 safety inspections at major sporting events showed that 28% of all sporting events have high-level unsanitary conditions at sporting event food places, and that includes mouse and rat feces, exposed garbage, and bad equipment. Are you going to be less likely to buy something at a stadium now to eat?
I don't think so. You know, there's nothing better than a hot dog from one of these stadiums, man.
Even with the rat feces, like you just throw it in there and it's all right?
I hate to tell you this, but there are a whole lot of restaurants that fit in that also, so I would have to stop eating, and that's not going to happen.
You know, I'm kind of with you. At some point when you go out, you're just sort of taking it into your own hands, and I'm like, you know what? Just don't tell me if it's good. I'm going to eat it. Now, it was a good week for Apple. The tech juggernaut announced a plan to create 20,000 jobs over the next 5 years, including a new $1 billion campus in Austin, which will make the company the city's largest employer. They now have offices in Seattle, San Diego, Culver City. They also had hundreds of jobs in a half a dozen other cities. Good for Apple, good for the economy.
Always good when you have someone or a company to create jobs like we have here. Very happy to see that happening. Austin is a very, very nice area.
Bring them here,
done
though.
That, but
we're just like
let's
Austin.
Get some of that money.
A lot of people
here.
call Lexington the Austin of something. Next, it was a good week for doodling. A new research study this week concludes that drawing pictures can help boost your memory in many ways. If you draw something, you're more likely to remember it than if you read it, hear it, or write it. Do you like the idea of doodling stimulating your mind?
You know what? I'm so happy to hear that, Matt, because while I'm sitting in a lot of meetings or doing something, I'm drawing pictures and I'm trying to keep myself occupied. See, there's a reason for that.
The things I'm doodling, I hope you don't get to see, because they include a lot of things that maybe people shouldn't see. It was a bad week for Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former attorney, sentenced to 3 years in prison after implicating the president in many things, including cover-ups over hush money and breaking campaign finance laws. As an attorney, I'll tell you, Jack, it is very, very, very rare for an attorney to go to jail for the misdeeds of his clients. This was a bad deal for Michael Cohen.
I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what ultimately comes out of all of this. I mean, there's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation, but no facts have been
facts. He's going to jail.
He's going to jail, but is it more because of what he did or for his own thing or for the president?
If you believe that he voluntarily did this without being told, no offense. But
let me read it. Let me read about it.
It was a bad week for Malik Monk. It's normal for a GM to be disappointed in play, but Michael Jordan smacked the side of Monk's head after he ran on the court to do an early celebration. If you were Monk, would you have just taken it from Michael Jordan?
You got to take it from Michael Jordan. What else can you do? Not just he is, in my mind, the best player ever, but he's your boss.
Did you ever have anybody smack you when you played?
Joe B. smacked me often. I was the recipient.
Bobby Knight smacked him.
He'd roll that program up, and he'd just wear me out at times. And yes, I took it because I had to.
Jack, thank you very much.